There's only one thing that remains constant in sales and marketing, and that's change. To avoid being left behind, sales organizations need to actively adapt their focus to closely align with the perpetually evolving market concept. The last 2 decades saw a fundamental shift in the role of the customer in the selling process. Organizations have adapted to this shift by focusing their efforts on business development, which is a strategy to create long-term value from an organization's relationship with its customers. In this video, Mr. Deon Basson, CEO and President of 2Interact, describes how organizations can take advantage of key account management to support business development. Mr. Basson has extensive experience in guiding business leaders to build effective teams and to improve sales through effective communication.
Key account management is critical in business development. Selling to the right customers and dealing with the right customers is really important. I'll use an example a little bit later. But if you look at the strategies of business development, the first one is retaining customers. That's your most critical priority that you've got. Retain your existing customers. Number 2 is to cross-sell and upsell to existing customers. And only third is getting new customers. And there's a very interesting statistic that says it's 7 times more expensive to get a new customer than to sell to existing customers. So key account management is really critical to, implement it and work with the right customers. In my very first sales job that I had, I was first a technical person, so then I went into sales. It looked like it's a great job to do out there. And I went into sales. And after 6 months, I sold absolutely nothing. And I thought, my golly, I can't sell. And I went to my sales manager at the time. Her name was Rose. And I said, Rose, I don't think I should be in sales. Maybe I should go back technical. And she said to me an interesting thing. She said to me, on Monday, I want you to come back and present to me all your deals that you're working on. And I was working on about 15 deals, and I prepared a full presentation. And we sat there for about 2 hours where I presented the 15 deals. At the end of the presentation, she made a lot of notes. She said to me, Deon, you're going to kill those 9 deals, and you're only going to work on these 6 deals. I said, but Rose, I can't. I've worked on 9 deals here, plus the 6 deals here. How can you say I must stop that? She says, Deon, I'm telling you, you're only working on these 6 deals. Within 3 months, I closed 3 of those deals, and these were big deals that I'm talking about. What she did there was teaching me something very specific. How do you deal with a key customer? How do you deal with a customer in such a way that I spend more time with them, understand them better, and really cut out, being all over the place and just spending a little bit of time with a customer, then I run to the next one, and really focusing on the key accounts that we've got out there. The other thing that it also did, because I had more time per customer, I could have better conversations, and we could craft solutions for those customers. So going back to, key account management as part of business development, key account management is critical in how we deal with our business development. The goals of business development is normally very simple. I've got to get more business and I want to make more profit. So it's twofold by saying that. It's not just increasing your sales, but it's also increasing the margins that I make on sales when I deal with organizations out there. And what is critical in what we've got to do in business development and understanding business development, where we integrate it with that key account management, what are the customers that we should focus on? What are the attributes of those customers, the 20% that brings in the 80%, that I can get more of those 20%ers and make more profit out of it? But there's also another part of business development. So these 20% of the salespeople that get 80% of the business, what do they do differently? And why don't we take that knowledge and start applying it to the other salespeople also, that they become the same type of salespeople? But going back to what I said earlier, focusing on that 20% customers that bring in 80% of the profit, I want more of that. So by understanding what their attributes are, I can get more like that and actually make 30% of our customers that are great customers that are bringing in all the profit. So by focusing on that 20% that makes the 80% difference, we've got better conversations with those customers. We make ourselves more sticky. It's more difficult for them to get rid of us because we really become part of that organization. So there's an absolute necessity that key account management is critical in business development. Okay, the sales manager's role is changing dramatically. If we look at, we spoke earlier about how key account management is really part of business development management and how we integrate it together is really important. The traditional sales manager, I nearly want to say that I call it the bum impression on the seat. He sits there in the office, sits behind his computer, and he manages by spreadsheet. He manages by pipelines and things like that. That's not going to work anymore. The integration of business development management and key account management really is changing the way that sales managers must work out there. You get people that are more methodical in the way, or process driven. They want to know things like, so if I order now, when will I get it? Is there guarantee? Is there warranty? And is the instruction manual coming with a car? And that's what's important to them. So if I give them facts, but I don't give them that information I just told you about, they're not going to buy it. Then you get people that are more visionary. So they like the beautiful car and the nice paint and the nice shape, and it's the talk of the town and it's the car of the year. That's what's important to them. And then you get more the emotional people. They will know it's a great family car. And you look at all the airbags that will protect your family. And that's what's important to them. Now what the sales manager must do is make sure that when the sales guy goes out there, that he resonates with people. Because if he doesn't resonate, if he speaks in a certain way, but the customer is like this is what happens with the communication. So he's got a far more important role. So really it becomes important that the sales manager has to change his way of dealing with the salespeople. He's got to get his butt off the chair and actually be in front of the customer. He's got to have conversations with his salespeople, and he's got to make sure that whenever they take a message out there, that they resonate with the people that they deal out there. So it's really, I mean it, sales managers, get your butt off the chair and get in front of the customer and deal with the people. One of the things that I really think is important, that a sales manager should be at least in one deal of every one of his salespeople, so that he can guide the person, that he can coach the person, and make sure the person's selling the right way.
Looking at how the marketing concept has changed over the past 100 years, it becomes clear that the marketing concept is never in a state of rest, but constantly changes over time. Organizations currently find themselves in a position where business development has emerged as a major contributor to their success and longevity. The underlying principle of business development is to create long-term profitability through strong customer relationships. As more buying power becomes concentrated in the hands of fewer buyers, organizations need to learn to juggle managing everyday customer relationships, as well as relationships with key accounts. Key account management equips organizations to achieve this by establishing and managing relationships with the high-profile customers who contribute most of the organization's revenue. This has a direct impact on the way that sales managers perform their jobs, as it requires them to play a much more active role in their teams as they lead. Rather than managing their teams from behind their desks, sales managers should get involved in the selling process and equip their teams to successfully cater to their key accounts' complex needs. Test your understanding of the role sales managers play in key account management by answering the following multiple choice question. With the increasing focus on business development, how can selling organizations integrate the principles of business development in the selling process? Consider this and share your opinions with your small groups.